Hello and welcome. Right, there's a lot of work to do. There is. Now, I always find obviously, I've said this, I cut my teeth on doing, oh wow, I did more than I thought actually. It looks more on the map. We've done well over half. Yeah, I always deliberated, do you chop these or do you move the logs? And I come to the conclusion after a lot of hours that actually this is the thing you've got to move because it used to get in the way of that you bump into them as you're trying to round the logs up, or the logs hit the tree, the stump still, and it causes issues. Whereas what I like to do is literally push them around and push them into piles, but you can't do that when you've got too many of these. We have got a monster amount of work to do. I think, I have got the lightsaber. Well, this is plenty of practice to get better because it is much more difficult to do with a lightsaber than it is with a traditional. It is, although not for this, I don't think, but yeah, for chopping normally. So I'm going to say my words because this is going to be a monster. It is. It might not be in one session, but it's going to take me a while to chop all of these. 101. We chopped about at least 3 or 4 last session. So there's only about another 97, 98 left. So I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. I'm going to class this as the last one. I'm going to split it into two. I was going to try to do it all in one, but it's weird. I did cut my teeth on logs, but I've never learnt to. Yeah, I've always insisted on FS22 that I would manually load. Now, obviously, when you're cutting your teeth, you're not brilliant at everything. In fact, you're rubbish at everything, to be truthful, as we all are. I couldn't get on with the farming, so I turned to logging. I had auto load. I had the Flegels. I had the Flegel auto load, so I never learnt to gather the logs together. So I am sort of on that a virgin, as in like this is the first time I've gathered any great amount of wood in this method that we're using now, the proper method. Because I in FS19 I just auto loaded it. I can't remember if it still saw things. I still had to herd it to a degree. No, I didn't. It just magically grabbed it all, and the length's the problem where you've got to try and push everything into the right lengths. And then, of course, you always get one that goes leaning over. The first one I tried to get perfect. It took me ages. The second one I tried to, and I thought, it's still not going right. I thought, you're just going to have to, like, and the other thing is I do remember is being, I'm going to call it greedy, but it's not really. You do need to sort of, if you go too high, it's already going here. You can see how close it is to tipping. If I did that too much more, it's tipping really badly though. I've got to be honest. I'm not pleased with the trailer. The FS19 ones were better than this because I've not been greedy, and the ones I did were longer. You could get 2 sets. I think I did them 6 meters, so you probably could do 6 meters now. But I always remember the argument. I think everyone says 8's the perfect length, the perfect amount to get the cash from. So I'm getting 19 grand a load. I'm used to, when I was doing them 6s, I would do 2 sets of 6 in the 2 separate piles on the thing, and you'd really go high. But again, with auto load, it's magic. But I don't want to do that. I want it to be as realistic as possible. So if I have to have 19 grand loads, I've still got to equate the time as to me harvesting quite a 20 grand field. And I'm like thinking, well, it still takes quite a while. I mean, people say logging's easy. It's not really. It is if you've got an auto load trailer. Of course it is. Well, it's not actually. I've got to find. I think logging is one of the. It's hard because there's lots of stages to it. Anybody says, oh, it's easy. They're good at logging, and it's not easy. It's easy because they make it look easy. They're forgetting all the little stages they've gone through. You have to chop it. I do agree with what I said. I think that taking there's tree stumps, because every time you try to herd them and there's a tree stump in the way, I thought there was a stump in the way of the first one because it was resisting, and it was just there's too much weight. There was nothing more than that. I had done a fairly decent job with the tree stumps. That makes a difference. Definitely better if you get rid of the tree stumps first. I always deliberate on that for a long time, but obviously auto load again does away with the worry about that because it grabs them off the ground and puts them into nice piles. It does all that for you, which you've not got that. It's all on you to push the lengths push them all into a reasonable length. Even a little bit deviation or one mistake and your log's leaning over the front, and that can cost you a bit of space. It's not too bad, but it's definitely. The other thing is that it seems to have like hidden collisions, which makes it even more unfair. Where I'm trying to push the wood in and I'm hitting something that isn't there. Wow, they're knocking the cones over. We've not been anywhere near that. So yeah, I'm relatively pleased in a way because I know I am really. Yeah, I can't be any fairer than that. Yeah. I don't do it very often. I always found logging, and I think that's from when I was first on FS19, terribly stressful. I have no idea why. Yeah, Thought that was slightly less because it took the space off when it was like going high. So yeah, I'm going to say my goodbyes. I'll take this up to. Yeah, I'm not gonna because it's got the. I hate it when if you reset it, you leave the adapter behind, and then they put the adapter back on. It's like when you do a telehandler. I always find it's sort of like it takes long. You've got to put it all back together. There's about 4 different sections. You've got your weights, or we would have had 2 weights. It was getting in the way. The back one. It's making me longer. My turn's not very tight, so I just dropped it. But yeah, we're up to 381. It's not. I think I was forgetting when I was on about. It is a good way to make money, but if you're insisting on manual auto, manual auto loading, manual loading, it's honing the skill. But the thing is, you've got to remember, it's a long-term gain. When you do, I feel like I've sort of learnt a few skills, and I know myself with anything. What was I doing the other day? I was using the belt system to herd straw, which I've done quite a lot. And I was saying, when I first did it, I recognised that there were going to be hidden necks to actually doing it, and I feel it was important to herd it from the outside in to make piles, and I felt the last time I did it on Bellingwell that I definitely turned a corner, and that's what I'm saying. It's every single thing you do, you get a bit rusty if you don't do it for a while. So I feel I've knocked the rust off all of the different skills, and I've picked up some new ones because I've said really I haven't done a lot of. Yeah, how did we do this on? I didn't have an auto load on, or did I have an auto? Oh no! Of course, I'm being silly, aren't I? I've thrown myself a bit of a wobbler here, haven't I? In some ways, it would be far better to do the container method than this, but the thing is, it might not support it. Most maps do now, don't they? That expect you to do logging. It perhaps would have been. Trouble is, what if you do a container? You go all that way. I suppose you save it. I've gone the wrong way now. I was going to say, what did I do? Because it was nice and easy on Silver Run, but that was it. I used to use the container boxes, and it really is a doddle to do those. It's just like autoload without it looking like autoload. So, yeah, really, I suppose, and that's why on FS22, this really is the first time I've actually done this. I'm not kidding. It really is definitely the first time. I'd say we're about halfway through. So we've got 381. It's 90, yeah, about 60, no, 20, 40, 57,000, yeah, nearly 60,000. Let's not. So three fields of more than starting fields of grain or something like that that's worth quite a bit of cash. So it has taken me a long time, but again, I think I've learned some skills, and does that mean I'll be faster next time? I doubt. It doesn't equate like that. Anything in life takes time to do properly, right? So let's try and assist. Now I've herded this pilot, as you can see, almost ready to just drop in. So yeah, but there's a couple that are still not quite right, and they're the ones that are going to defeat us. So that's for next time. It is. I'm quite pleased. 381,741. It's taking shape. The equipment we still could do with a bigger tractor. Yeah. No, it's exactly as we left it. Nothing's magically arrived. Right, so we could leave it there. Yeah, all that remains to be said for this session is thank you very much for watching. Truly do hope you're going to stick with me on this journey. And I'm going to say goodbye for now.